What's good, beautiful family? How are y'all? This is your girl, Divine Karma. I send you peace, light, love, and harmony as I always do about this time. Why? Because Divine Karma loves you, baby. I got my Google Maps on, so I hope y'all can see everything. Just dropping in while I'm traveling. I left Washington yesterday morning at 6 o'clock in the morning. I spent some time in Mount Shasta yesterday. This AM, I'm back on the road. Going to spend some time in San Diego later. I'm headed to Illinois to spend some time with my mother. I'm so grateful. My mother's about to be 89 and in a few weeks. But she, for the most part, she is, I know people at 89 and is not as with it as my mom. Her memory, her short-term memory is not the greatest, but she's okay. And her long-term memory is still fantastic. She still tells her children about stuff they did when we was babies, all right? So I'm in travels, but I decided to touch base with y'all while I'm, out and about. The energy in Mount Shasta, I have no words. But I wanted to drop in a little chit-chat. I am going to be offering some new services soon. Yeshua, a.k.a. Jesus, and Mary Magdalene dropped in on me this AM while I was on the road and spoke with me, and we had a nice conversation. But I am going to be upgrading a lot. I'm leveling up, I'm upgrading. I'm going to be offering a lot of services. I will also be changing I don't know what channel I'm posting this video on, but my YouTube Divine Karma's Tarot is going to be changed to Divine Karma's Oracle. Either Divine Karma's Oracle or Divine Karma's Oracle Messages, something along those lines. Because I'm beyond a tarot reader. That was I started channeling first and having outer body experiences through my awakening first, and then I got into the tarot, but now that I really, really know who I am, that was some years ago, and I am an oracle, and I am a high priestess, I am all these things. I can predict things, I can see into the future, I can time travel. So I'm completely moving into that oracle energy. I will also be offering a lot of new services for karmic debt clearing with ancestors, for your ancestors. Like, I have a lot of things, a lot of new services that I'm going to be working on, and as well as getting back to writing my music. If you have not, on my New Earth Mindset Divine Karma channel, I do conscious music, all right, and my playlist with my music is available for everybody to see, so check it out on my channel. What else? I'm about to take it up a notch. Like I said, I've been getting downloads and channels. Somebody had tried to put some group work on me. That's been taken care of last couple of days. I just wanted to touch base, let y'all know source is real, let y'all know chaos is coming on this planet. This I promise you. Chosen ones, it is not going to touch us. It is not going to touch us. There is war coming. The spiritual war and the war for our, for people's souls and mentals and all that, it started years ago. That pandemic was part of it. That happened years ago, but it's chaos coming on this planet. But chosen ones, listen people, you got to change your perspective. We're going to be protective. New Earthians, we're going to be protected. For about the last month or so, I have, astral projected, and my, literally, they're like, I'm my face goes through a veil halfway, and I can see the chaos that is coming. The war, the famine, no food, no water, no like darkness on the planet. It's coming. It's coming. And I'm not saying it's coming tomorrow, but it's very in the very near future, or nearer than most people think. But I'm not saying that to scare you. I'm telling you to change your perspective, change your frequency, and change your vibration. Right? Because we will be provided for. Some people, they're not going to make it. And I'm not saying that in a bad way, or to, wish harm on anyone. But there's people that's not going to make it because they put their faith in the system. This government, all of this is going to collapse. And if you are in the correct frequency, you're ready for it to collapse. Why? Because we are ready for the new earth. That is why all this is happening. The fifth dimension, the new earth, the new frequency, Christ consciousness, love coming back to the planet. Right? But in order for that beautiful energy to exist, the old one has to go away. Let it go. Right? Release it. We gotta let that thing go. I'm ready. I've been ready for it to go. Right? If you want to move in this new energy, this new earth frequency, spending more time in nature, spending more time meditating, praying. And when I say praying, I'm not speaking of going, begging and asking source, whoever source is for you, for a whole bunch of stuff. That's not praying. That's not the original energy of prayer. It's not begging and begging. Can you give me this? Can you give me that? That's why a lot of people that call themselves religious and pray and go to source begging, that's not the energy. Source doesn't. That's like if you have a child and you've given your child everything it needs to succeed, and they're still asking you for the stuff that you've already given them. It's like your child asks you for dinner and you give them dinner, and they start crying and saying, "Hey, can you give me dinner? I gave you dinner. It's right in front of you." Like, that's the energy that source is when you go to it begging. If you're going to ask for anything, ask source to man. Put the energy of remembrance. Remind my soul and upgrade my DNA to who I am, to my God energy. Upgrade my frequency. Put me back in alignment. Clear my DNA. Change my DNA back to its original state, mental clarity. Right? To move me in alignment with my life purpose. That's what you ask. And source will deliver every time. So I promise you. As long as you put your work in. This is a partnership. I don't know if I shared my mantra. I don't know where I'm posting this at. But my morning, well, not morning. I don't say good morning. That's why people laugh when I say greetings. The English language is the language of the dead. You tell people good morning. Why? Nobody's morning. Well, I'm sure somebody has transitioned somewhere in somebody's morning, but not at that moment. I never tell people good morning, because as soon as I say that word morning, I feel like I put some kind of frequency of morning into their life for the day. That's why you never hear me say good morning. People say good morning to me. I say greetings. Right? But my AM mantra, I say every AM, and I don't know if I shared this before, but I would share it with you because you're welcome to it. Divine gave it to me. I can share it. And this is what I say as soon as my eyes open. Divine consciousness, I invite you and welcome you into every thought process, every energy, frequency, and vibration on today and every day. I am grateful for our partnership and unconditional love. Ashe. This is every AM. Every AM. This is what I say. And feel free to, use it as your own, tweak it or whatever. And then I get into my meditation and my gratitudes. Change your perspective. I don't understand why people are in fear when you know that source never loses. The universe is undefeated. It never loses. In the time of darkness, that is not a loss. That is the time for collective and individual shadow work. That's why the darkness is coming to the planet. There's shadow work, collective and individual, that needs to be done. There's a new frequency that needs to be happening. There's old things that need to be ushered out so new can come in. It's not a loss. Again, I heard Ralph Smart say, like, a leaf does not fall from a tree without permission from the universe, from God, from source. So do you actually think that these goons that run this, the governments that run this, so-called run this country, I want to ask you a question, and it's not rhetorical. I really would like for somebody to respond in the comments to this question. What do you think would happen on this planet, right, if all the so-called humans, beings, whatever you categorize yourself as in this human body flesh, what would happen? What do you think would happen? Somebody tell me. If every being on this planet, we all came together, doesn't matter, brown, yellow, blue, green, nationality out of the window, religious beliefs out of the window, who you call source, who cares? What if we threw all of that out of the window? All of us came together as a collective across the globe and said, and this is just my third eye, you know what? We've been divided for a long time. None of us, we all know that there's a source, a universe, or something out there. And we're going to put our differences aside and just embrace the energy of whatever that source is. You call it whatever you want, and I'm speaking like different nationalities, saying this to other nationalities, so-called nationalities. You call it whatever you want. But right now, we're going to put all that to the side and come together, all of us, because these idiots that run these governments, it's time for them to go. Afterwards, after we get them out of this timeline, out of this frequency, and dethrone them off of their imaginary thrones, because I don't put them on a throne. We can all go back to whatever, our collective corners, or we can stay united or whatever. But right now, let's do this. What do y'all think would happen? In my third eye, I literally see prophets coming on the land. We will see them physically. I don't know religious person jump in my comments talking about Jesus coming back to return and all that. He's not. He never said that. He said Christ consciousness is returning. Jesus never said he was coming back. Please understand the difference. Christ consciousness. But I can see prophets, the ancestors, and it would be such a different frequency on the planet. And all the governments would be overthrown. Right? Because we have decided not to be divided anymore. What do y'all think would happen? Like, it's not a rhetorical question. I really want someone to answer. And what do you think would happen if we all did that and came together on the love frequency, on the enlightenment frequency, and put all of our differences aside? Why? Because all of us are just spiritual beings here having a human experience. I don't care what this jacket you got on look like. On the inside, that we all are the same. And when I say the same, I'm not talking about DNA wise. I'm saying we're all spiritual beings having a human experience. And we signed up for this exactly where you are in your life. There's no coincidences. You signed up for every second of it. Understand it. What do you think would happen? People actually think it's a lot of the goons, as I call them, that run these governments, ours and in different countries. It's not. It's not. They literally are like under 1% of the population. We gave this to them. And respect to our ancestors, because, you know, a lot of these goons and governments and society and all this extra bull crap exists, you know, because our ancestors, they did what they, you know, they did what they had to do, and they worked for what they had to when they were here. But I promise you, the ancestors, they're watching us. They are, I keep saying this, I've been saying it a lot lately. They're watching us to see if we are going to pull this off. So I don't know whose side you on. I'm ready for this old earth to go away. Let this government collapse. Let me tell you something. If you're scared about what's going on the planet, you're on the wrong frequency. Two opposing energies can't occupy the same space at the same time. Either you're going to trust God and trust Source and know that you'll be taken care of, and that this government and what they do and the pandemics and the jabs and all of that has nothing to do with you. You're going to trust Source. You have to choose one. Y'all books say you cannot serve two masters. You gotta pick one, and if it ain't never been a time for you to pick which master you're going to serve, you better pick one now. And not picking one is you picking the wrong one. Say that again for the people in the back eating Twizzlers. You not picking one is you picking the wrong one. When I say serve two masters, I am not speaking of serving some man in the sky who they have told us is watching, judging, no. One thing I do like about the Islamic faith, I don't do religion. Everybody's saying the same thing to me. Y'all arguing over the books and the prophets and who said what and the names and all of that. But one thing I overstood when I studied with the Moors. Shout out to the Moor Science Temple of America. They helped me come into this awakening when I first started opening up my third eye. But Islam, I never knew until I started, like, what it stood for when I started studying with them. I, self-law, am master. Do you hear what I'm saying to you? I, self-law, I've heard some people say and master. Most people I've heard in the faith say am master, which means you know that ye are gods. You are one with Source. And it's not that you're saying Source is your master. It's saying that you understand the Trinity of you as yourself, the divine consciousness and God and whoever you call it, and the unity. That's that perfect pyramid. When I see a pyramid, that is exactly what comes to mind. That is I, self-law, am master. You better choose one, and you better choose one swiftly. You can't have two. So if you're scared, fearful, out here crying and going ham about they took away the SNAP, do you think this is the worst, that they cut off food stamps and all of that? And newsflash for my brown people, I don't do racism. I love everybody, but I'm going to give you some statistics. Newsflash for my brown people. Statistically, numbers, documented. There are more Caucasians on food stamps and public assistance than there are brown people. This is how you know there's been a shift on the planet. Because I truly believe they expected brown people to get chaotic. Because they and if you watch a lot of the videos, it's Caucasians. And like I said, I don't do race. Race don't exist to me. That's a business. I know who I am. I know who I am. I know what I come from. But I want you to understand A lot of it was done because, one, they truly thought brown people was going, listen to me, brown people. And when I say brown people, I don't do terms like African American. I don't call myself that. I don't call myself black, because I'm none of that. And if y'all know me, I've said in the earlier years a gazillion times, a nationality has to have a flag. Where in the blue magic hair grease do you see an African American flag? What y'all do, sew the two together? Cut half of Africa and half of, is that what you did? There's no such thing. I'm not black. I know what black look like. It's a color. I'm not black. This steering wheel is black. I'm not black. I don't do any of that, right? But it is more Caucasoids on assistance than it is brown people. These are the statistics. So they intentionally thought that brown people, listen, us brown people, we've already been through all this. This has been our life. A lot of us came up on the system. A lot of us, soon as you made 50 cents more, than what is required, they cut your whole food stamps and all that up. We've been living like this already. We bounce back because has always been it for us. This is how they've always came at us. This ain't nothing new. And though, I'm not saying brown people wasn't like, oh man, this some BS. Oh, I'm sure. But please understand, the bounce back happened really quickly because we've done this a gazillion times. We already know how to do this. Caucasoids, on the other hand, Caucasians, and I'm not saying everybody, don't take this as racism, please don't. A lot of Caucasians are not familiar with these tactics, and it's hitting them hard. And I send you so much love, but again, we've got to come together as a unit and stop being so divided and overthrow these clowns and take our planet back. I'm gonna give you another statistic a lot of people don't know. Every so-called race on this planet has been enslaved at some point. Am I taking away from, do I think brown people, we got it the worst and the longest? Absolutely. But every so-called race on this planet has been enslaved at some point, including Caucasians, including you. This is not the time for division. This is the time for Christ consciousness. This is the time to decide which master. Are you going to be ye are gods and be your God master and your God body? Are you going to continue to let everything that they pump out on the news and put out here on social media, small or something I need to touch on? A lot of you that are watching a lot of stuff on the news, these little clips and all this, especially on the TikTok, it's AI. Ralph Smart threw out some statistics yesterday that said 50% of what you watched on social media in the last 24 hours, hello, beloved animals, I'm so sorry y'all pent up like that and they're going to slaughter you. I send you so much love. Oh my gosh, I hate this. I'm a vegan. I hate to see animals pent up like that. But 50% of what you watched on social media in the last 24 hours wasn't even real. Like there's news clips all over social media and TikTok that, and all the social media actually, the people ain't even real. The news person reporting the stuff ain't real, and the report ain't real. And I say that because I have so many people that throughout the week send me videos, a lot of them off TikTok, but other social medias with news clips and this happened, oh my gosh, this happened over here, this happened in this city, this happened in this country. Listen to me, stop doing that because it's AI. I'm not saying all of it is. Most of it is AI. It's not real. The people ain't even real that reported it. Go watch Infinite Waters, Ralph Smart. And because he like uploaded some of the companies and people like showing you how they're creating this and how easy it is, and you sitting here thinking that it's some kind of news report or that it really happened, and the people ain't even real on the report, nor is the report. These people are on the frequency of the old planet. You need to block them out. You need to get away from them. They're not on our frequency, New Orleans. It's time for that. We got to let them go. All right? I'm gonna get off of here. I'm going to San Diego because I was in San Diego for like 2 years. I got to hit my vegan spot. I'm going to try to drop in on my old hairdresser when I had my locks. See if my sister Hathor is back there going ham. See if I can drop in on her and keep it moving. All right. I love y'all, and y'all know I love it when you love me back. Throat chakra. I gotta do some energy healing, and we'll chat soon. I'll keep y'all posted on my whereabouts. I love y'all. Peace.